But it was working well. Actually, here when you send the mail, I again checked, and it is working well. The video, I think, I don't know, you couldn't see it.
Yeah, it may be the problem on my side because my Wi-Fi right now in Pakistan is not that much effective, not working that properly. When I was in Turkey, it was very good, so I may see it again definitely because I didn't see that thing.
Maybe some buffering is required.
Yeah, definitely.
You're facing some challenges in filling up in working out this Excel sheet, this project, right?
I beg your pardon, Vivek, I didn't hear you.
You are facing some challenges in coming out with this 80 days.
With some what?
This 80 days, it is not coming to the project duration. That's what you wrote.
Yes. I sent you, and I think so. You also sent me something. I was
Right.
thinking of that thing.
That's right. Actually, you have not filled any of this. Everywhere I saw, it is one day only.
Yes, quite true. And I got my mistake. Thank you very much.
That's why it's not coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Hi Biju, how are you?
Vivek, how are you?
Going well. So, you were able to manage everything well? Or you faced
Yes. I got it.
You got it.
I got it. Actually, I think the first day when I did it, I went for the manual scheduling. That's the reason it came different start date.
Right.
I was not able to change the start date.
Right. So by default, the new tasks are manually scheduled. I don't know why they have kept it manually scheduled because most of the time we are working with the auto scheduled, and it only very specific time which I will let you know.
Okay, fine.
But in 2013 they have changed this to auto scheduled.
Okay. I mean, is there a big difference from 2010 to 2013? Have you worked on that?
Not much difference actually. It's more or less same. Very couple. I think a reporting work part has been done better. And particularly one tabular reports which were not touched for a long time, they have changed that.
Okay,
I think this time they have the Office 360 they have. So they have introduced project online as well.
Okay, that's good.
So that I haven't checked this actually. What are the all available there? But I think that could be some way better. So we have actually I think Rishi has some other meeting. So he said that he will not be able to join, or if he'll join, he will join a little late. So let's see.
Sure.
So if you have any question, anything with the Vipul, Tasneem, if you have any question, we can talk about those things first, and then we'll move ahead with our today's agenda.
Well, I don't think so. I have got a problem because I have to go through with the thing because I haven't gone through. If you can recap the whole the 45 minutes of session just in a brief word so I can easily grab you. The thing is that I can easily catch you because I haven't seen that thing. Although you have sent me this thing, but my Wi-Fi is not in the condition just to open it. Just as brief so I can catch you guys.
Not a problem. What I will do, I will give a little, a very quick recap on that feature, so at least you know what happened actually.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Any question from Vipul? Vipul, how is going?
Hi. No, nothing at all. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to spend too much time this time on this. So maybe I would have next time some questions on Wednesday, but today nothing specific as such.
Okay, so but we don't want you to spend too much time. We just want you to spend little time on this. So you didn't get the little time actually.
Absolutely true. I'm sorry I misused the word. Actually, I did not spend any time on it.
So, okay. Take out little time. I think that is good enough. Okay, so let's continue with the from where we left in the last session. Let me recap a little bit because it's a little break. So we talk about project management principles, some basic project management concepts on which a Microsoft project works, and then we talk about that how Microsoft project helped in balancing this triple constraint triangle, and we saw that how we can map the Microsoft project features on the project life cycle, that is from initiation to the closure, and what different things we will do. We went through very commonly used views, and some of them we used also in last couple of sessions. Some of them we will use now, and some more views we will introduce. We looked about the highlight filters and the groups, which we will mostly use during tracking and reporting part. We'll also see that how we can customize views and tables to generate good reports that will be part of the reporting function. And then we started how we start any project in the MS project is by customizing the options, by selecting the right options, customizing MS project to fit in our environment, so that it understands the language which we speak, and we understand the language which MS project speak, and that's how we set the options. Then we said that for the scheduling engine, it is most important thing is to take care of the time. So therefore, the calendar, setting up a calendar for the project is a very important thing, and we set up a calendar. In the calendar, basically two things we set up. One is the holidays, which are non-recurring holidays, and the second thing is the work, customizing the week, the way we work, on which day we will work, on which day we work half day, on which week days we will not work. So we'll customize those things in the calendar, so that whatever we schedule in MS project, we can exactly in the position to execute on the ground. Then we said that we have to set up a project start date and take the project calendar. We also talk about that we can schedule the project either forward direction or backward direction. Whatever the calendar we will select here will become the project calendar. That also we looked into. Then we created a work breakdown structure, and whatever we want to schedule, or whatever the part of the MS with our project, we define everything here. Nothing should be left out. Anything which is left out of WBS is basically not part of the project. So it's very important that any activity we do on the project, we must put this into our WBS. Only then we execute it. Because if that activity will come into WBS, it will get scheduled as well. Even if during the tracking or during the execution you encounter a new activity, I always suggest please add this into your WBS and then execute it. Okay, so we created a exhaustive work breakdown structure, and then we went ahead with entering the estimates, and we discussed about the relationship between the duration, work, and the units. Units means resources, and how these are interrelated and how they impact one another. We also discussed that when we have to estimate in the work and when we have to estimate in duration. Basically, when we have to handle our resources ourselves, we estimate in work, and when we contract out the work to the other people and other people handle the actual resources, we basically mainly bothering about the duration, and we estimate in duration. Then we talk about the dependencies, and these dependencies are we talk about 4 types of dependencies: the finish to start, start to start, finish to finish, and start to finish. And basically we said that okay, first 3 dependencies are actually meaningful to us, and in that also most of the time it is the finish to start. And if you see, our all dependencies are finish to start as of now. Okay, and so after that we talk about that how we can identify resources, define those resources in our MS project, for which we normally go to resource sheet. In the resource sheet we define the names of all the resources, and we talk about that we have 3 types of resources: the work resources, the material resource, and the cost resource. What are the work resource? Work resources are the resources which perform the work. The material resources are the resources which get consumed when the work is performed, like cement, like iron bars, like paints, like lamps. They cannot be reutilized, they get consumed. And the cost resources, we said about that cost resources is the cost which is attached to a project, but it's neither can be categorized as material or the work, but this is a cost being spent on the project because of the project need. So that is a cost resource, and most of them are incidental in nature, like traveling, transportation, or some other entertainment or similar type of things. What happens in the cost resources, that these are the resources which are, there is no formula to calculate. Like in the work, we have a formula to calculate the cost. We say every resource actually has a per hour rate. We can define a per hour rate, which we define for every work resource. We also say that for the material, we can define a rate at which we buy these materials. But for cost resource, we cannot define any such thing, because 2 trainings are not interrelated. How much you're going to spend on this training will not anyhow connected with the previous training. This time you are traveling has no relation with how much you spend on the previous traveling. So every incident has a different expense, and they cannot be like formulated as such. So therefore we don't define anything for cost resources. We give the estimated cost when we assign this cost resource to some task. We also talk about their availability, and availability is all about work resources. We say material resource, MS project, assume that you have enough material with you. It doesn't manage the inventory of the material resource. It assumes that you have enough materials. Okay, so there is no availability as such, but the availability for this is provided here. What we said that 300% of carpenter means, when we design carpenter, it means we are talking about 3 people every time. Here we are talking about civil contractor, 200% means there are 2 people who are coming over there. So, and what we have defined here is all roles. There is no individual. Individual will come when we talk about names, etc. So this way we defined all the resources here, and then we went to Gantt chart view and went into resource tab, and we pick up the assign resource tab, and using this we use that hiring a consultant, we click on owner and assign it. Because we have assigned it already, therefore it is assign button is disabled. Okay, we can remove it and reassign it. We can remove it, use it and reassign. This way we can move around and can assign. What we learned actually in assignment, that we, by using this dialog box, we can define that how much unit we have estimated for a particular task, or in case of cost, how much cost we have estimated. For example, this painting, we have assigned a painter, and depending upon how many hours or how many days this person is working on the painting task, his cost get calculated. At some places, we also define the less or more units of the person. I think in some.
Sales manager.
Like this, transporting the product, and we say sales manager is only 10% working on it. It means his availability to this task is only 10%. So this way we define the units, and therefore its cost is just based on 10% allocation of this. So we can type this down here. We also talk about how we can define materials. So like in painting, we define that we will be having 10 liters consumption every day. So we have defined a rate, 10 liter per day, right? And based on how many days the work is, it calculates that how much liter of paint will be consumed, that is 70 liter, and based on its rates, it calculates the cost. Okay, and in the flooring, we have not defined any rate. We have said that the flooring, we need 100 square meters of flooring, vinyl flooring kind of thing. And based on that, there is no rate. So irrespective of how many days it works, the material getting consumed here is 100 square meter of flooring, which cost to us 500. During the transportation, we defined it transportation, which is a cost resource. So there is no unit here, but what we have defined is $150 for transportation, and this I typed it here. And only cost resource you can type the cost, or other it will be calculated based on the unit. And this way we assign all the resources here to these tasks. We should not leave any task unassigned, otherwise nobody will be doing that except the milestone. Even you can define the milestone as well, who has the ownership of this milestone. Now one more thing which I just introduced here is that we talk about lead and lag, that in the dependency we didn't define any lead and lag. So let me bring this out, that if you see that layout got submitted on the 15th day, now approval you will not get the next day. Approval will come after a week. Now for 1 week you need not to do anything as such. So for you, this approval has a lag of 1 week. And how I define the lag? The dependency between this layout and approval of layout is this. I will double click on it, and you see that this lag means I will make it 5 days. It means a 5-day lag. And you see it move 5 days. And this is described as this. 3FS plus 5. If I have to define a lead, how to show the lead, I think, suppose I take that, okay, door and floors are going, but furnishing can start a little earlier you need not to wait for door and windows to finish. Then I will go here, I will click on this. I will click on this and I will define, because lead is minus lag, so I will define -2 days. -2 means a negative lag. Negative lag means lead. And this way it moved 2 days before that. So after 3 days of, this is 5-day work, after 3 days of door and windows, furnishing will start. This way, if this is on critical path, we can reduce the overall duration of that. Actually, it got reduced. You see that. If I say Control Z, it was 18th June. By doing this, it is finishing on 14th June. So we have like 5 days delay was here, and we have recovered 2 days here. So effectively 3 days it has moved on. So this way you can fine tune and make it more near to the actual work happening there on the ground. Okay. Now you see that in the whole project we have defined, without the whole project got scheduled without touching any date. We have not defined, we have not touched any date except the project started. That's the only date we give. Nowhere we have touched the date. If you go on the ground and you see that dates are normally in not your hand, what you do is you give estimate to the project and you define this dependencies. Based on that, the dates worked out. You cannot, being so many dependencies, you cannot really fix a date for a particular task because it depends on some other task. Therefore, it is not a good idea to enter dates. But in some cases, it is possible, or in some cases, you may like to do it. Suppose you want to, you are chasing a deadline, some kind of things, which is very important, and you want it to finish on a particular date. So, what do you do in that case? Suppose it is on 2nd May. Civil work and wooden. Okay, suppose this is 4th of June. Okay, let's take an idea that suppose this is finishing on 4th of June and we want to finish on 31st of May. Because of some inspection or something here and there, whatever it is. What do you do in that case? You will go and say this is on 31st of May. As soon as you put, because there is a conflict, because woodwork approval is depending upon furnishing, and furnishing is completing on 4th. So will you be able to dictate your saying that okay, it has to finish on 31st? Then you have to dictate here also, and here also, here also, here also, because everything is dependent. So it will give you warning because the planning wizard is on. Planning wizard is also a option here. In the advanced tab, go, there is a option called planning wizard. Where is it? Here, this planning wizard. We have ticked it. By default it is ticked. Because planning wizard is on, it always give you warning if it finds some conflict. And that's what is happening here. As when we 31st, it doesn't take it. And it give you warning. But it give you option, you can do it. You can say cancel, keep the existing link. You say remove the link and move task approval to start on this. You can select one of them. Now another scenario is quite possible that you can say I can finish it on 7th. If you want to finish on 7th, it will still give you the warning because it is not respecting the link, the dependency. So you say move the task to start on 7th and remove the link. So there are three options are possible. Maybe it is not depending on the previous task, so you remove the link and start on 7th. You say move the task to start this and keep the link. Could be, it is quite possible that it is dependent, but still you want to delay it for some reason. The right way to delay it by adding a 3 days lag. But instead of putting a 3 days lag, because 7th in your mind, you want to finish it on 7th, you are putting a 7th, which is a conflicting situation. Or you cancel it. Maybe it is a mistake. Suppose I select the 2nd. As soon as I put this, what will happen on the left hand side? You see, this is what is called a constraint. A constraint is applied because there is a specific date mentioned by you. So what the constraint is applied is the task has a start no earlier than. You say you are giving, it was finishing on 4th, but you have made it to 7th. It has put a hard date on that the task must not start before 7th. And that's why I say start no earlier than 7th of June. So what will happen here now in this case? Even this task, if I make it to 8 days, finishes early, it will continue beyond 7th day. It doesn't go back 2 days. It doesn't go 2 days behind, right? If it is finishes 2 days later, 12 days, it is still remains 7. Even if it takes 15 days, still it will it will move in that case because the constraint is start no earlier than. It can start later. So if the previous task, dependent task, is finishing later, it will start later. But if it finishes early, it will not start early. There is another possibility. The another possibility is that I double click on it. I say go to advanced tab and see that there are constraint types. But there are so many constraint types, you see. As late as possible, as soon as possible, finish no earlier than, finish no then. So currently it is start no earlier than. I can also change it to start no later than. If I make it start no later than, again it will show you the warning because the planning wizard is on. If it is not on, it will silently do the job. Okay, now I have set this. In this case, just opposite case. If I make it 15, okay, no 1 minute, whatever. Start no earlier than, it says okay. Continue but avoid the conflict by using. Okay, so it has moved it to 4th because it is now depend, because it is the constraint is start no later than. So early can start. So it is as soon as the dependent task is finishing on 4th, it is starting on this. But if I made it 15, you see immediately there is a problem and say cancel, avoid or continue. If I say continue, you see that though it is ending on 11th, this is still on 7th. Now everything, all these kind of things are a problem actually. I will show you a couple of things about the constraints. There are 3 types of constraint in a MEMS project: the flexible, semi-flexible and inflexible. The flexible constraint means the whole schedule is flexible, like as soon as possible or as late as possible. As soon as possible means the task, the successor is always depend upon the predecessor. Predecessor finishes early, the successor start early. Predecessor finishes later, successor start later. Semi-flexible is like start no earlier than, start no later than. Means one side it flexible, other side it is not flexible. Inflexible means neither of the side it is flexible. So it is hard date on a particular date. Either of the side, it is not going to change that. So how it will come out? It will come out like this. The flexible constraints, semi-flexible constraint, and inflexible. So it is as soon as possible, as late as possible. These are default constraints and also called dependencies. Basically they are not constraints, but they are basically dependencies. If you are doing a forward planning, as soon as possible get applied automatically. If you are doing a backward planning, as late as possible is applied automatically. Semi-flexible constraints is start no earlier than, is finish no earlier than, start no later than, and finish no later than. Inflexible must start on and must finish on a particular date. Now, what happens exactly on this? To understand this, let me go to and will explain you a little in details, because this is a little important, because this is one of the very common mistake people do when they use Microsoft project without any training or without any guidance. And this is single issue or single problem is good enough to mess up your whole project. That's why it's a little important, and see that how we should avoid these kind of things. Okay, now let's look at this. There is a task A and there is a task B. Okay, this is a 0 and this is finishing. Suppose the project is of 2 tasks. This is 5 days, this is 4 days. So the project is finishing in 9 days, right? Now, in the normal circumstances, if this finishes in 4 days, it will prepone and it will become 8 days. If it is finishes in 6 days, it will postpone and the project will finish in 10 days. That's what we are seeing for so much time. But if we apply a semi-flexible constraint here, start no earlier than on 5th day. Actually this put a date basically. Now what happens that if it finishes 1 day later, this will move here and this will move here and the project will become 10 days. But in case it finishes early, means 4th day, this will not move because of this constraint. Your project will continue showing 9 days despite it is actually an 8 days project now. Now in 2 tasks it looks simple, but if there are so many tasks, by looking at the duration of the task, you will never be able to figure out there is a free time available in your project, because this 1 day is freely available now. You are committed to client 9 days while it can be finished on 8 days. You may make client happy by delivering a day before, but you will not be able to because you will never come to know about this. What about if I put this reverse? Start no later than. I make it later. Start no later than 5th day. In that case, it is absolutely reverse. If it is finishes early, this will move here, this will come here, and this become 8 days. But if this moves later, if this finishes in 6 days, this will still be here. Your project is of 10 days, but it will continue showing 9 days. This is a more dangerous situation because you are committing 9 days while your project will finish later. And by the time you come to know, it will be very difficult for you to manage if this is of couple of days. And in the project, when the several tasks are there, things do not happen in 1 day or 2 days. There is always an impact in couple of days. So you see, whenever you put a constraint, it take out the flexibility of the project. When it take out the flexibility of the project, it means every time such a situation happen and you want to manage it, you have to do it manually. You go and change it. So there are 2-3 things which is happening. One is there is a danger of free time of negative and positive slack. Slack is a free time available in the project. So there is a positive slack means a free time available. Negative slack means some time is already passed and we have lost time basically. So there is a possibility of plus and minus slack in the schedule, which is not good for us because we will not be able to utilize and not be able to recover. Second thing is it will take out the flexibility. So it will increase the maintenance because every time we have these things happen, we have to go and change it to 4 days, 6 days, something like that. Actually the date in the project. So the ideal scenario is that you should not have any constraint in the project. You should not have any constraint in the project. This is how you should make it. A good schedule is a schedule that requires least maintenance. It means it is happening. It gives you information. It does not seek too much information from you. MS project is a place where you will get information when you update actual there so that you can take action. But if you have to act and then find out, then MS project value actually go down. Do not set anything in the schedule that restrict movement of the task if predecessor finishes early or late, which will happen in case of applying constraint. Create schedule with a few constraints, semi-flexible and inflexible as possible. So keep them as possible. In my opinion, there should be no constraint. Better create schedule by specifying only dependencies. Okay, how we can do this? By not having these constraints altogether. So that if anything changes here, this becomes 7 days, the whole project moves and you come to know that your project will now finish on 18th June instead of 14th. If you put the constraint, you will never come to know. So you never add any constraint to the project. Especially not where there is any dependency. There is a dependency, you should not put any constraint. Now where the constraint will be used? When you are scheduling an isolated incident which is not dependent on others, going to occur on a specific day, at that time you can use these constraints. Otherwise you should not. So what happens now? The question comes that how should I track my deadline to finish on 31st of May? Currently it is not manageable. In that case, what we suggest is to put a deadline instead of using a constraint. How you can assign a deadline? By double clicking on the task on which you want to assign a deadline. Just above the constraint type, you have a deadline feature. And you can put a deadline on the day you want. It is currently on the 4th. If I put 4th, you will see that there is a down arrow. Right? Now, this is not the date which we are looking for. Now, what is the advantage of this deadline? Is deadline does not take away flexibility, plus it warns you that there is a problem or you are not able to meet the deadline. Suppose this task will become from 15 to 17 days. as soon as this happens, your milestone has moved beyond the deadline date. You see, immediately you come to know there is a question, there is a exclamation sign come over here, which tells you that there is a problem here and you will not be able to meet the deadlines. Now, when you come to know about it, the flexibility is not gone. The date is actually, the milestone is moved. Now you have so much of time available to you to manage this. Maybe you can put another resource here and finish this in 8 days and your job is done. Right? This is how we're going to change it. Maybe you can say I will take a lead in this case and start the painting 2 days in advance. This way also you can reduce this. So these are the ways of tuning a project, crashing the project, fine tuning it. Right? I will talk further on this, that the 2 steps we have taken. One is that we reduce the number of days. Second thing, we have bring the more parallelism in the project to meet the deadline. But we wanted to schedule this deadline on 31st of May. So I will go here and make 31st of May. In that case, you will see exclamation this. Right? Now, how I can move this back to this? There are a couple of things. So we say about crashing. Crashing means there are two. Basically, there are two methods mainly. One is crashing, another is fast tracking. The crashing means adding resources on the project to reduce their duration. So if this is a 7 days duration, if I add another electrician, they will finish in 4 days. Right? If this is finished in 4 days, but this is not corrected, so this will not help because this is not a critical path. I should know the critical path. So how to know the critical path? There are 2 ways. Either I will go to tracking Gantt chart. Who is the tracking Gantt chart? Tracking Gantt chart. Tracking Gantt chart will show me that this. So any reduction on this does not going to help, because what is a critical path? Critical path decides the complete duration of the project. It is the longest path and the shortest duration the project can finish. Longest path and the shortest duration project can finish. Because this critical path is deciding the duration of the project, I have to reduce the project duration. I have to act on one of the tasks on critical path. Because I acted on active work which is not on critical path, it does not help me. So what I do, I will act on some other. I will say if there is another way of doing it, is this, that I can go to the Gantt chart, I can go to the format tab and click on critical task. So it will mark the critical task as red and you come to know here itself. Right? Both the ways we can do. So let's see that on the ceiling there are civil contractors. Suppose civil contractors are 200% normally. Right? There are 2 people actually. The availability is 200%. If you go to this, civil contractors are 200%. If there are 2 people available basically. So if they are third person available, this will be finished in 7 days. So if I increase this, if I make it assigned to 150%, means 3 resources, it will reduce the duration. When it will reduce the duration, my job is done because it is now on 30th of May instead of 31st of May. This is called crashing. The second thing is called fast tracking. When I take a lead. So if I go here and say I take a lead of 2 days. Now by taking the lead of 2 days, what I did, I have done bring the things which were in sequence now become parallel. Right? In that case, the whole overall duration has become reduced and I have met my deadline. Now what happens if both the cases are not possible? Neither I can do this nor I can do this. Another way of doing it, calling the people on weekends and seeing that how it will help. Now calling the people on weekend means I have to see on which task the people will come on weekend or do overtime. As per PMI, it should be the last resort. However, in the practice, it is the first technique to apply. So we have to identify on which task we should apply this. So we go to the format, click on critical task, see that which task in this task, which task we should apply. Normally we should choose the longest one first and earliest one. So if this is 10 days, this is 10 days, I should prefer this one. I will remove this and I will say I will ask people working on this to come on weekend. Okay, by the way, all three are same person, but I will say let's on partitioning people come on weekend and do this. But how I can schedule these people on weekends?
Vivek?
Yes.
But why not on layouts? That is 15 days.
Why not layouts? Okay, layouts. I think the delay is where is the delay? Okay, yeah, we can do this also here also. There is no problem. If this is not done as of now, you can do that also. That is the even better. Ceiling will be better even. This is definitely better. This is the best one. But if you have executed some portion, I think we are working on here actually on this. That's why I took the task after this. We were working somewhere here, some delay. We are talking about here that instead of 10 days becomes 15 days kind of things. Right? So I thought okay, we have worked till this date. Assuming that we have worked till this date, that's why I choose this one. There is no other reason. Otherwise, you are right that we should choose either of them.
Okay.
Okay, but we can choose any of them.
Vivek, but in real life, it is not possible. Hiring a consultant in layout is much tedious. I'm facing it actually now.
Yeah, so that is also another factor that you have to see that where it is feasible.
Yep.
Okay, layouts normally take time, but if you work over time, it can be done like 15 days. I think 2 days accommodating in 15 days definitely better than 2 days accommodating in 10 days. But it all depends upon where the feasibility is. So you have multiple options. Then you say you started looking at the longest one and the earliest one. Then see it is feasible, not it is not feasible. So you go to the next. Then you go to the next, then you go to the next, like that.
Okay. Okay.
So suppose we can do it anywhere, but let's apply on partition and see that if we can ask people to come on weekends on this. But how we can schedule people on weekends? If you go here in this is a task users view. This is a task users view, where we have task and the resources both. But I have chosen this because I know on every day how people are scheduled. So I want here, and I want this to know that how they are scheduled. They are not scheduled on weekends, right? There are 2 weekends, but they are not scheduled because they are on holiday. Or these in our calendar, these are holidays. But how we can make these days working? For that, we need to define a new calendar in which we define these days as working. And that calendar we will apply to this, and because we applied a calendar to a task, we will call it a task calendar. Okay, so we'll go to project, change working time. One more thing which I want to tell you, that okay, I think I missed that part, that every resource, like the way, like resource can also be having, I think after this I will take up, that you can mark leave and the absence of the resources also, like the calendar, like we have marked the holidays in calendar, project calendar. Every resource also have a calendar, and we mark the leaves and their absence in their own calendar also. Okay, I will take up after this. So in the project, we will go to the change working time, and we'll create a new calendar for working on weekends. And because I am creating this calendar to working on weekends, I will say weekend calendar, weekend working calendar, weekend working calendar. And I will make a copy of this standard calendar because I want everything remains same except that Saturday, Sunday is working. Holidays are still respected. So I say okay, and now I have weekend working calendar. I will go to the work week, select default, select details, select Sunday and Saturday both. Go to here, say set days to specific days, and I say it is 8 a.m. till 12 p.m., 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. That is the normal working day. And I made Saturday and Sunday as normal working day. As and I say okay, you will see Saturday and Sunday both have become normal working days like any other. And what I will do now, I will apply that calendar on this task.
Vivek?
Yes. Yes.
Are we making all Saturday, Sundays working, or we are making specific 1 week calendar, 1 week Saturday?
By the way, I have done it for everything, but you can always limit by putting the date here. Or you can add a one more line here saying from this to this, the Saturday and Sunday are working. You can always put this. NA means from end to begin to end, it is all same. You can always limit these exceptions. Because for me,
okay, thanks.
For me, I am working on a particular task, and task is of 10 days. After this 10 days, this calendar becomes irrelevant. I am not bothering about it actually. Okay, I'm going to apply this calendar on this task, and task is of 10.
So this so this calendar that we have made is only relevant for this particular task.
No. What has done, if you see and go here, you will see several calendars here. Actually, you have added a calendar to this calendar pool. What calendars it has? It has default calendars, 3 default calendars.
Yeah.
Then weekend calendar I have added, and the one calendar for each resource. So I have added one calendar in a resource pool, and I will utilize on particular task. That can be used for other tasks also if you want to use. So it's not specific to this task. It is just another calendar in a calendar pool with a different settings. Okay.
So why are we doing this? Why, if in this case, we wanted to talk about a specific task, and we know that that task is supposed to be done by a particular person, so we could have made that change in that particular person's calendar, right?
Yeah, but the carpenters are not working only on this task. They are working on this and this task also, right? If I change their calendar, then it will impact all the things. My intention is to have a problem, to do something on this task, nothing else. Anybody working on this task should work
only on partition, right?
Yeah, on one task I am actually
only on partition.
Only on partition, or maybe any other one, but only one task I am talking about. See, normally you
okay, but I'm still not.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still not clear about how this calendar is going to be working only for one particular task, which is partitioning in this case.
Yeah, because I have not demonstrated you the complete thing, right? This must.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Sorry.
So it is still in queue actually. So how you attach that calendar to this task is like this. You double click on it, on the task, not on the resource. If you double click on resource, it will open the assignment information. If you double click on task, it will open the task information. I'm talking about task information. Go to the advanced tab and you see here there is a calendar. Currently it is none. It will show all non-resource calendars. Non-resource calendar. Okay, resource calendar you cannot apply on task. So I am seeing that weekend working calendar. I will say OK and apply this. So this calendar get applied here. But despite this calendar applied, nothing is happened on the right hand side. If you see, the allocation is still same. On Saturday, Sunday, there is no allocation. This is not allocation because the carpenters are having holidays on that day. Because carpenter have holidays, therefore it is not scheduled. So what is here is what another thing which I want to demonstrate here is that the task. Okay, let me do one thing. So what I have to do, I have to either change the carpenter's calendar or ignore it. If I change the carpenter's calendar, it will get changed here and here as well. And that will be a problem. And I have to make it a date also, because otherwise this is on different date, this is on different. So I have to define this same dates. But for some reason this task get preponed or postponed because of the predecessors getting earlier finish or later finish. I have to make the changes once again. And as per our good practices, we should not attach anything with the dates, or try to reduce it as less as possible. So what I'm doing here, I will double click on this. You see that when it was none, this schedule ignore resource calendar was actually grayed out. But as soon as I put a calendar here, it is enabled. And I can tick on this saying ignore the resource calendar. Ignoring resource calendar means this calendar will now apply. And I say, you see that on Saturday, Sunday, the task get applied. And as soon as task get applied, my job is done by Sunday. So Monday I am fresh. By Monday, my job will be done. So my deadline of 31st may not be on 31st, but before my next working day, it is done. Right? So this way I have applied this. Now one more thing you realize here, which I want to demonstrate here, is that task calendar could able to override the project calendar but couldn't override the resource calendar. We need to ignore it. That means resource calendar has the highest priority, task calendar has the next priority, and the project calendar is the default calendar, has the least. Any calendar you apply, it will override the project calendar, but it will not be able to override the resource calendar. And that's what I wanted to.
Okay. Got it.
So if you see here, your red mark is gone because you still able to manage it before the next working day, and which is a happy scenario.
Okay.
Right? And your deadline is met by simple this action. Now, how do you define the holidays of the people? This I will just demonstrate you. This is, and then you go here. You select a project, any person here. Suppose there is a salesman. He's on leave. Let's say June. Suppose these 5 days is an annual leave, salesman. Okay. So you go here, click on this, come over here, annual leave. Because you selected, it's all gone. And I say okay. You will see your project is now finishing on 13. If I say Control Z, it is 10th June. Now it is 13th June because of your salesman working on this is not available for few days. The task become 3 days to 6 days. Right? We can see this on the task uses view. Going here, salesman, and okay, 1 minute. Is this right? This is, you see that this salesman is here. It is a blank one, but it is grayed out. This portion is grayed out. Because of this portion grayed out, the sales manager could manage his job, but this 3 days job salesman start doing the next Monday because he was on. Right? This way you can define the holidays of the or the leaves of your employees also. Now we have defined all these things here, but tell you one thing, if as a project manager, what are the work of the project manager? Project tracking, project planning, governance, client meetings, reporting. 50, 60, 70 or 100% time goes into such activities. And if you see, not a single such activity is planned in this project. So where the project manager's time will go. Another thing, you might have seen that the project is not in good shape, people end up doing lot of meetings to discuss what to do, where to do, how to tackle the situation like that. Now, where that time will be accounted, because we said in the WBS work will, every activity should be accounted. Basically, the meeting, project status, project planning, project tracking, status reporting, governance, all of the meeting client, reporting, all are repetitive tasks. These tasks are all the project irrespective of what the project is.
Okay.
These are the unique activities of the project. They may not be there on the other project, may or may not be, but meeting, project planning, all these tasks will always be there. And they are always there from beginning to the end of the project. And these tasks are basically recurring tasks, means keep happening all the time. They are not one day job or one time. It like painting is happened, then it doesn't come again until unless you have another route, another showroom. Lightning is done, it doesn't happen again. But the project plan is keep happening. Project tracking is a regular job. Meeting is a regular job. So we need to account these recurring, keep regular activities also, so that we can account for our time, and we should also know that how much time we have left for these tasks. So what we need to do, we have to add our recurring task also. So we'll take an example here of a simple meeting, which is suppose a status meeting or project like team meeting or something like that, to see that how we can define recurring meeting. Okay. Right now it's a food time, but from where the basis noise is coming, I'm just seeing where the food is being cooked. Okay, now it's not coming. So, but don't worry. On the online meeting, you cannot pass on. We cannot ask for the food actually. So you will not be able to send it. I can send only voice and pictures. Okay, so we'll come over here, and you see that we go to the insert one. Insert. Where is it? Insert section and say task. And if you click on this drop down, you will say task, recurring task, and blank rows. And what I'm going to do is, that I'm going to add a recurring task. You click on this, it will open a dialog box which looks like a Outlook meeting dialog box. Not exactly, but some parameters like that. And in this, I will write team meeting. How much? Let's say about 2 hours or say 1 hour, whatever it is. 1 hour meetings. Is it monthly, weekly, bi-weekly? If it is bi-weekly, we can select week and 2, so it becomes bi-weekly. Monthly, we can say monthly, and we can give it on which date actually it will happen or any such thing like that. Let's say it is every 2 weeks we are doing, so I will say week and 2. Every 2 weeks. On which day it happen? Which day you suggest? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Let's say Friday.
And Friday.
Friday, see, Friday is a fantastic day to do meetings. There is a special thing on Friday, that because after that there is a weekend. And if you figure out on Friday that some task is not done or something is still left over, you can always, that becomes a stage to call your team on the weekends. This cannot happen on Monday.
Yep.
So if the people who are actually oriented towards calling people on weekends, they often prefer Friday, because that's a best way to you don't need to do anything. It is in front of everybody, so it's very natural. Nobody can realize also.
Okay.
Unless you meet some project management expert. Okay, so but keep it Friday, let's say. Okay, and this is team meeting. You see that by adding one task, you have got 8 incidences. By default, I didn't mention it. By default, it took the project started and project ended. We can change it also. And it added 8 incidences automatically. A summary task is added and this. And if you see that every task has a constraint here. And what constraint? Start no earlier than, because I am specifying a particular date, and this meeting does not depend upon any other thing. If my decoration doesn't happen, will meeting not happen? Meeting will happen. Meeting is fixed on 22nd of February, going to happen on that day, or it will not happen. But it does not depend on something, will not postpone or something. Therefore, these constraints are absolutely fine in this case. And MS Project has itself applied them. So this is, you can apply for project planning, project tracking, or any other regular task. In one chart, you can get all this. Now, once you have done this, you will see a duration is there, but work is not there. Now, they are also duration dependent tasks again, because hours depend upon how many people are going to attend it. If one person attended, it is 1 hour work. 2 people attended, it is 2 hours work. 10 people attended, it is 10 hours work. So let's see who will attend. So this, normally what we do, we never touch the summary task. You see that since beginning we are only working on the leave task. We are never touch, or subtask, we never touch the summary task or group task. This line get automatically calculated. This line get automatically, we never work on it. This line get. But in case of team meeting or recurring task, we will work on summary task. Either you insert it or you apply the resources. I will go here, assign resources. Who will attend the meeting? Civil contractor, maybe? Consultant? Or owner? Is this fine?
Owner for sure.
Owner for sure?
Yeah.
Maybe the civil contractor or consultant?
Yeah.
Maybe sales manager as well?
Sales manager also.
Right. And say assign. So you have got 4 hours, right? 4 people, 4 hours. And you see so many red.
Vivek, how does that 68.13 days come?
Because the starting on 22nd of February and ending on 31st May. See the difference between these 2 dates is this. The working days between this date and this date.
Oh, okay.
It's the total duration of this summary task actually.
Okay, fine.
Lags, leads, everything is accounted here, or missing dates, missing time, gaps, everything accounted here.
Okay.
In the case of team meeting, actually this does not make much sense, but this is how it is calculated. Now you see,
I think you have included the civil contractor, and that could be the reason that red icons have come, right?
Yeah, you see that everywhere, here, so many red signs have come up. Why? Because these people were already fully allocated. Now 1 hour meeting also has come up on these dates. Therefore, many of them have become red because they are over allocation, because they have gone beyond 8 hours. If this meeting was of 2 hours, then it will be 2 hours. Means 25% of the time actually gone into meeting. If there are 2 meetings on a particular day, it will be like that. And then you will see that people will not be able to meet their deadlines because you have scheduled meetings. And you never thought of that they have to spend in meeting, and they never accounted for that. And that's why it is important that everything, whatever you do on the project, has to be in WBS so that everything is accounted there. Your people have sufficient time to do this. One more thing which I normally suggest people, that your critical resources, your senior resources, keep them free for some time. Do not allocate them 100%. Allocate them maximum 80%. Whatsoever you do, you will never be able to plan in advance all the activities. Some ad hoc work will always come which you plan now, but if your resources, and most of those ad hoc work are done by your senior resources, not by junior ones or the most critical ones. When the ad hoc work will come and you plan it here, you will see that they will become over allocated if they are fully allocated already. If you make them 80% allocated or less or something like that, even you put some ad hoc work, they will still be able to manage and there will be no delays in the project. The project is successful not by delivering early. The project will be successful on delivering on the commitments. If you have made a commitment of 10 days, you deliver on 9th day, you have exceeded the expectation. If you deliver on 7th day, you have created a problem. If you deliver on 11th day, you have delayed the project. If you deliver on 10th day, it is fine. Good. This is how the perception of the client is very important.
What do you say about the 7th day? What did you say about the 7th day?
It's a problem you have created.
Means we did not plan it accordingly.
No, you forecasted 10 days and deliver in 7 days. The other person is not planned.
Okay, fine.
So you have created a problem for that person. He will not be happy.
Oh, okay.
Or he may say, you keep it with you, I will take it on 10th day or 9th day.
Okay, fine.
So delivering on commitment is what the difference from your commitment will make how much the client will be happy. More the difference is on either of the side, client going to be in trouble and the happiness level will go down. So forecast right and deliver right. If you think that it will be done in 10 days, you can commit in 11th day, 11 days so that you can deliver on 10th day. Even if it get delayed by 1 day, you still deliver on time. But by committing 10 days, you cannot deliver on 6th or 7th day. If you do so, then it will never bring happiness. Satisfaction, customer delight will not come. Okay, so we have defined all these things, and what I suggest you also take some 10-15 minutes to do this, and then I will take up you to the next place, next thing. So there are 4 things we talk about. One is task constraints. You can check that how to apply them, what to do, what has happened. Second thing we talk about setting a deadline. You set up a deadline in your things. Third thing we did is created a task calendar, created a calendar where the weekends were working, and then apply that calendar on a particular task. You can try out by applying that calendar on particular task. And fourth thing is adding a recurring task. So there is in the task constraint, it is more to understand actually than to do, but you can do last 3 things: set up the deadline. You can add deadline, you can put a task calendar, and you can put a recurring. Okay, will I give you 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, so when you are done, you say, you just type this in the chat box. So when all are done, I will move ahead. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Anything help? Just type it into the chat box.
Vivek, we have to do only the last three things: set up the deadline, creating a task calendar, and adding recurring. That's what you said.
Yes, well, I said okay, you can try out setting up a deadline. You can try out setting up a task calendar and assigning it to some task.
Okay.
And the third thing, trying out a recurring task.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Going well? All is well?
Yeah, I'm working. Okay.
Okay. Good. No problem. Yep. Good. Everyone is able to do it without any problem. It means everybody was so attentive. Nice to learn.
It's quite interesting, Vivek.
Really?
We are learning some new. I mean, I'm learning some. At least I'm learning some new things which I never thought of.
Okay. Good. Good.
I come across several instances like this, but I now I know that where I'm doing mistakes.
Okay. Normally, when people don't know, they normally ignore such incidences. Okay, this you will see it without that. Or
Yes,
nobody knows actually this can be done.
that's right. That's right. Yes. And as I told you earlier, I used to do it in Excel. So when we never think of this dimension and never it is applied there also.
Right, right. And that all those things are not possible actually.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Tasneem, Vipul, how is it going? Are you done or you're still doing?
I'm still doing, I was behind schedule, so anyway that'll take slightly longer. So if you want, you can start the next thing anytime you say that. I'll probably cover it later.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm saying, see, I'm saying the points that we did today,
Yeah.
those were supposed to be done over and above the ones that I was supposed to do last week. So I'm still continuing with those and
Okay.
still left with something here. So I'll just finish off maybe later. If you want, you can continue with the next one.
Okay, if it's a couple of minutes, you can do it. Maybe let's take a couple of minutes and then we'll start it. How about you,
Vivek?
Tasneem?
Yeah, Vivek, I'm in the last. I've just started the last one, add recurring task.
Okay.
I've done the first. No, yeah. Well, I said deadline I've changed of this the painting one, and I'm doing this electric one, the creating a task calendar of the electric work. Okay, it's almost done, and I'm doing the last one. I'll be doing.
So, are you facing any problem or you are comfortable doing it?
No, I'll do it. I'll manage it. Thank you, Vivek.
Okay. I think we should move on. So if something is left, maybe after this session you can do it. And if you face any problem, send me the your file. Maybe we can work it out that if something is left.
Vivek, I'm going to send you the file. I have got a problem in something like creating a task, a calendar. I don't know, something is not coming the right answer, and add to recurring task. So I'm going to send you all the 3 files so you can see this thing. Okay, fine.
We're talking about team meeting, right?
Yes.
So if you click on it, you will see that what you need to do. You have to give it task name. You have to give it duration.
Okay, fine.
Of the meeting, like 1 hour. You have to tell it is a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. So it is, we have defined it bi-weekly, by week, and saying it 2. So every 2 weeks. We can define it monthly by saying like this. And we click on Friday. This dates it automatically select, but we can change it. That's all. These for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 things we need to give.
Okay.
Try it out after the
Thank you,
session,
Vivek.
and if you still face any problem, we will take this up in the next session again.
I will just request you, Vivek, because as this is something very new for me, especially. So if you can send me the project file, I mean, just for the practice in this thing, because I think so I need a lot of practice in these things because I'm not aware of these things. So I'm just requesting you, if you kindly send us the project MS file so I can practice in the other one also. Is it possible for you? I'm just requesting, I'm not saying.
You want like help after this training is over.
It's up to you if you can send me, because usually when I'm free, I'm just can do the practice in this thing.
It's absolutely fine. We always help out people even after that. People call with their real project plan and facing problems, and we'll always provide help. That's never be a problem.
Okay, Vivek. Thank you.
Vivek?
Yeah.
While she asked for that, I don't know if she meant what I am saying now. Is it possible for you to share this file with us today after the class so that we can have a look at whatever we're missing, we're not missing any stuff?
This MPP file?
Yes, you're right. 100%.
Yes.
This MPP file?
The one that we're working now on, yes.
I will mail it to you after the session.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you too, because you read my mind very well.
Okay. No, sure. I will mail it to you, all of you. Okay, let's move ahead.
Thank you.
Let's move ahead, and what I'm going to tell you is this was a little fine tuning on the task side. Now I'm going to tell you about some optimization on the resource side. So I will move to resource sheet, and I will say that what you can do is the couple of scenario you normally encounter is, one is that you need to change the rate over time, like it's a 5-year contracts and your rates have changed after 2 years, or the person has moved from one experience level to another experience level, and so his rates changes on a particular date. Or you have a 5 years contract, after every year you see that there is a inflation which is accounted, so your rate actually increasing every year on a particular date. So how to handle such a situation? Plus one person, if doing 2 different tasks and get paid for 2 different way, then how to handle such a situation? I just take that up. So suppose civil contractor is there and civil contractor need a revision after some time. So we'll on the cost side, we'll go here and see that if we double click on this, you will get resource information. I go to the cost the cost tab, and you see that there are two things which are available. One is this table, okay. Second is this different table A, B, C, D, E. So there is a table, B table, C table, D table, E table. In the the A table contains your default cost. Okay, the standard rate which we have defined is by default it is A, and A is a default table. If I want from January 1st 2000 or after, or say from 1st of April, the rate will increase by 10%. So what I will do, I will come over here and say I will select 1st of April and come here. Either I calculate it and say $66 per hour now, or I say simply 10%. What it will do, it will take the previous figure, add 10% to it and make them new rates like this. It has a similar impact. Okay, what will happen, that overall cost of this rate, from 1st April onward, the cost of this contractor will increase by 10%. And I say, okay, it is very difficult to figure it out here. Yeah, what is the thing? But I will show you one way. You see here, and what I will do, I will change this table to cost table. Say cost table. And what the best thing you can do is going down and seeing that which a minute. Okay, which team meeting is scheduled before 1st April and after 1st April, and then we'll see the cost of this. Moreover, we can see here also, like civil contractor, the cost is $60, right? Here it becomes $66. So up to 3rd meeting, the cost was 60, but after that it becomes 66. After that, everywhere it is 66. Right? This is how it impacts. The second thing is, if the same person work in a different manner and get paid in with different money, let's take one here. Which one we should take? Let's see what are the activities here. The carpenter is working on various things, so let's take carpenter. I say carpenter, and is a $50, and I will define another rate is called $60. So I will say take it table B and define here $60. This will help me to assign different cost to different tasks. I will show you. So table A is $50, table B is $60. I'll say okay, and then come over here on this. I will change this table to normal entry table, or not work table, I think. Okay, entry table. Let's say entry table. Okay. Now I come over here. I say there are carpenter is working on partitioning, on windows, and on furnishing. Suppose when the carpenter is working on furnishing, because furnishing is a more niche work and more polished work, he may charge more here. So if you see the cost of this person here is, if I go and see the cost of this is the 4,000, and this is 2,000, 2,000, 4,000. It depends upon the number of days. Now what I will do, the rate is same, $50. Now I will change the rate here of the carpenter. The same resource, working here will be paid $50, working pay here will be $60. So I double click on it. You see it come out with be a assignment information. Carpenter on furnishing is $60, not anything else. Here there is a cost rate table. It is A, I will make it B. Okay. So what is B? The B table it is $60. So this cost will increase. It becomes 4,800. Now here it is same. Here it is same. So carpenter on partitioning carpenter working on partitioning got $50. Partitioning on this got $50, but carpenter on furnishing got $60 per year. This is how you can use these tables and the effective on time and effective on other things. You can change the rates. It could be very specific and very meticulous planning which are used when the planning is very meticulous. Another thing is that about the availability. How is the availability? In the journal tab, if I double click on consultant and see resource information, consultant is general tab. You see there is a resource availability. I say or instead of this, let's say salesperson or salesman. I will say from up to May 1st is available 100%. In the May, salesman is being used on other project also. Suppose it's shared between two projects. So for this project, his availability become 50% during the May month. So from 1st of May, 2nd of May till 31st of May, I will make it 50%. And from 1st of June to till project ends, it is again 100%. Now what I have defined with this table that before 2nd of May, it is 100. He is available 100%. After 31st of May, is available 100%. During from 2nd May to 31st May, is available 50%. And so, if he is assigned a work, he will to the 100%. He will get over allocated. Right? I say okay. It doesn't find any problem, so it is absolutely fine. During that time, there is no great work he is doing, so we have not moved into it. Yes, we have not moved into any problem as such. Okay, so this way you can.
Probably it's because he is on leave for the 1 week. We scheduled a leave for him. Annual leave.
There is no work assigned to him. He is assigned in June actually. If you see his work.
Okay.
He is not assigned any work during this time.
Oh yeah, got it. Yes.
Salesmen come in the last actually here. Okay, there is no work assigned to him. If I go, it comes into June, right? It is all June. Until May, there is no work for him. That's why there is no problem.
Okay.
Okay, now the last thing which I want to tell you today is that all these red means there is a problem, means they have been over allocated. How will I see it? I will go here and instead of going here, I will go to the resource uses. Instead of task uses, I will go to the resource uses. In the resource uses, I will see their use, their allocation on a day-to-day basis. So owner is over allocated on this day, right? Even a single day is over allocated, it becomes seeing red because on that day he will not be able to complete his work. It will be delayed. But 1 hour is not a big problem. let's come over here and see. Here also on one day, this is happening because of the meeting actually.
Meetings, yeah.
Every second week it becomes a over allocated. Now let's see on this carpenter. What is the situation of carpenter? He is working on weekends, that is why it is becoming right. But is this the case here also? No. The decorator is working on 2 tasks at the same time. And this could be a big problem. This is definitely will not be finishing. It has to be pushed ahead. Right?
Okay. Okay.
The salesman is also over allocated. Let's see where he is over allocated. Here again was this. So majorly problem is the decorator. Because of the meeting. Now we need, if we are not moving these rats, right?
Sorry,
yeah.
Can I?
Yes.
Can we add more resources?
Can you add?
Can you add more resources in which you have just
Yeah, why not?
I need to ask you.
You can add another resource here.
Why not?
Absolutely, you can add. Or you can add resources on the task. Yes, why not? You can add resources to task and remove this. Absolutely.
Okay, I mean that was slightly confused for me, so I just asked you.
No, you can always add. If it is over allocated, you add another person, get under allocated, and absolutely fine. That is one of the way to label the resources. So we need to remove these red tags so that task should happen. If red is there, means the task may or may not happen on time. Mostly it will not happen on time because it is he has allocated more time than actually required. So what we need to do for labeling these resources so that these red marks should go away, over allocation should be removed, we'll go to the resource tab and we open a new view called team planner view. A team planner view is similar to a Gantt chart, but on the left hand side, this row is not task, but they are resources. And it shows that on which date to which date, how is working, and the name of the task is mentioned there. Red showing the over allocation here. You see that wherever there is over allocation, it's red showing. You see here, 2 tasks are happening together. Now how I can remove this? I can take some measure on this. Say I select owner and go here that we see label resource, label all. Label all means everything will be labeled. This was the only option available till version 2007. And if you label everything together, there will be so many changes in the project that you will be never be able to figure it out what exactly, how it was looking earlier and how it is looking now. It is very difficult because if there are few, it is a small project. If the project is of 200, 300, 500 tasks, it will become very difficult. That is why till 2007 we never advising people to use resource labeling feature of the MES project but do it manually. But after this team planner view, we have advised that okay, do it one by one or maybe 2 at a time. So like I want to label this. So I will go select this and say label this resource. You see, it has created a room for this team meeting on that day. Manually, it is next to impossible doing that. Similarly, I select this and I will say label the resource and it has created. What is the result? Result, you see this this task is finishing on Friday, okay? When I label this, it is now finishing on Monday, extended the task. So when it is ever over allocated, basically what we are saying is it is something like that. The project has become like that, like this, becomes fatty. If you push it to label it, it will become like this. But what will happen? Because the volume going to be same, it will increase on this direction, right? This is what's supposed to happen. This is exactly happening when we are labeling the resource. Label, it is unlabeled means the thickness is high. When we push it down by labeling, it expand in the horizontal direction, that is the timeline. So if I say label this resource, it's move ahead. Luckily it was already completing on Monday, so it has not much impact. But let's look at carpenter. Carpenter may also be having no much issues as such. Click on this. It will never happen because these are the weekends. So it's working on weekends. Basically, it will never happen. What about decorators? Now, if I click on this label, it has put one thing another. It has moved from here to here, right? What will happen? It will increase the project duration. That could be a problem. If you do not want to do this, you can assign this task to somebody else. Who will be that? I don't know who will be that, but it could be another decorator. So I go here, I say decorator 1, another decorator I have added. I put it exactly same. How much is decorator? $60. I put $60 here, and now I have got another decorator, right? I come over here in the on this team planner view. I see decorator 1. I right click on this and say reassign it to decorator 1.
Vivek, I think your screen is frozen. I can't see any changes.
Really? Still there is no refresh?
No. Yeah. Now it came. Actually, I couldn't get anything what you told.
I repeat
what you were showing actually.
I repeat this now. Okay. I right click on this. Go to reassign. Select decorator 1, and this task get allocated to this person, and over allocation is gone without any impact on the schedule. But you have increased the cost of the project by adding a person. You can also do it like this by dragging it down. But whenever you drag this, whenever you put a hand there, it could be a problem. So we never suggest you drag it actually. What you need to do is you always click on this, right click, reassign to decorator, and this way you can do a reassigning like this. If you want, you can move behind, ahead, but if you touch the dates by moving behind and ahead, then a constraint will be applied, which can be a problem. So never do that. But doing this, you can interactively remove these over allocation. Sales manager, I will click on the sales manager, sale label all. Right? Everything is labeled except this. This will not going to change because it's a weekend on which is working. But this project looks far better than now because there is only one place, this is over allocation, and which is done by us only, nothing, nobody else has done. Right? This is how you need to use your team planner view. Okay? So you try it out in your free time after this. If you have any problem, you face any problem, send the file to me. As soon as I get time, I will respond to you. If nothing moves out, at least in the next session, I will explain the things to you.
Okay.
Okay, but please try it out. Take out some time. I don't need lot of time. Even half an hour to 1 hour is good enough to, if you can take out time, it should be good enough.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Vivek.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vivek.
Look forward to
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Look forward to meet you on Wednesday, and after that on Friday. So Wednesday, unless we will complete our course. On Friday, we will see that if we focus on some actual case study. But we still have 2 hours, so we can use that as well to focus where we going to work a lot on specific things which matters to you most. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.